Why is pride the hardest to detect? Have you ever noticed that when it comes to many obvious mistakes, a person generally knows they are at least partially at fault? But pride is different. Its most terrifying aspect isn't an arrogant swagger that people can spot at a glance. Instead, it often wears the cloak of, I am not wrong, making a person feel they don't have a problem, but rather that they are simply more clear-headed, mature, and principled. This is why pride is often the hardest problem for anyone to detect. 1. Pride most easily hides within, I am not wrong. If someone commits an obvious sin, there is still an opportunity for them to be reminded, rebuked, and brought into the light. But the most dangerous part of a proud person isn't that they are wrong, it's that they constantly feel they are right. They will say, I'm not being stubborn, I'm sticking to my principles. I'm not hard to get along with, I just see things more clearly than others. I'm not refusing to listen, I'm just more mature. I'm not proud, I'm just being rational. On the surface, these statements sound perfectly reasonable, but the problem is that the person becomes increasingly unwilling to be corrected. Proverbs 16:18 says, Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Furthermore, Proverbs 21:2 reminds us, Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart. A person's fall doesn't happen all at once. It forms slowly during long periods of feeling, I have no problems. 2. Pride isn't necessarily being aloof, it's an inability to listen. Many people think pride is just showing off, bullying others, or looking down on people. Actually, it's more than that. There is a kind of pride that is very quiet on the outside, but incredibly hard on the inside. When someone offers a reminder, they immediately put up their guard. When someone offers a different opinion, they feel internally offended. When someone disagrees with them, they rush to explain, prove, and defend themselves. This is also pride. The core of pride isn't just, I am better than you, it's, I am unwilling to admit I might be wrong. A truly humble person isn't someone who never makes mistakes, but someone who can remain quiet inside when corrected. The most obvious characteristic of a proud person is that they always want to protect themselves first, rather than face the truth first. As James 1:19 advises, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. 3. Pride is best at hiding within spirituality, knowledge, and experience. The most troublesome thing about pride is that it doesn't just hide in success, it hides in knowledge, experience, ministry, and zeal. Those who know a lot easily feel they understand things better than others. Those with a lot of experience easily feel others are too naive. Those who have served a long time can unknowingly elevate themselves. Consequently, a person might understand a great deal of truth, but become increasingly difficult to advise. They might do a lot of ministry, but become untouchable. What's even more frightening is that pride can hide in the mindset of, I am zealous for the Lord. Philippians 2:3 offers a powerful counter to this. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. 1 Corinthians 8:1 reminds us, knowledge puffs up, while love builds up. Knowledge itself isn't the problem. The problem is how easily we use it to feed our ego. 4. Pride is quick to examine others, but slowest to examine itself. Proud people are often very good at discerning others. They see clearly who has a problem, who is too weak, who is immature, and who isn't spiritual. But when it comes to themselves, they become exceptionally tolerant. They are strict with others but make excuses for themselves. They label others but exonerate themselves. They are great at preaching to others but always find justifications for themselves. The Lord Jesus asked, Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Matthew 7:3. We must also remember Romans 2:1. You, therefore, have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself. The easiest thing for human beings to do is to shine the light of truth on others while refusing to let it shine on themselves. 5. Pride fears the light the most, so it always loves to explain itself. If a person is truly humble inside, their first reaction to being corrected is usually not defense, but quiet reflection. Pride is not like that. The moment pride is touched, it immediately starts explaining, "You don't understand me. It's not that I have a problem. Others are just too sensitive. It's not that I'm too stubborn. The environment is just too difficult." Often, what truly hinders a person's growth isn't that they don't know the truth, but that they constantly use excuses to protect themselves. 1 John 1:8 warns us, "If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us." James 4:6 says, "God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble." If a person constantly refuses to bow their head, it is very difficult for them to truly receive grace. 6. Pride is too close to the ego, making it the hardest to perceive. Other mistakes sometimes feel like foreign objects, but pride is different. It is tied far too closely to our egocentrism. It seeps into your judgments, emotions, relationships, and choices, making you constantly feel justified and always desiring to be validated and valued. Psalm 19:12 asks, "But who can discern their own errors? Forgive my hidden faults." Many people don't see their pride because they have accepted it as just the way I am. It doesn't always stand outside to scare people. It often hides inside to speak on your behalf. It doesn't make you feel bad. Instead, it constantly convinces you that you are right. Why is pride the hardest to detect? Because it is the ultimate master of disguise. It doesn't expose itself easily like obvious sins do. The true danger isn't a person admitting they have pride. The true danger is someone who is already deeply proud, but constantly feels they are simply more clear-headed than everyone else. You can ask yourself these questions. When someone points out my faults, is my first reaction to reflect or to counterattack? When someone is better than me, do I admire them or resent them? When someone disagrees with me, can I remain quiet or must I prove myself? Before God, do I increasingly feel I need mercy, or do I increasingly feel I'm doing pretty well? The closer a person gets to God, the less they feel they are already good enough. Instead, they realize the truth found in Lamentations 3:22-23. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Without the Lord's mercy, we have nothing to boast about at all.